What's happening, my friend? You are first. You agree. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Completely Trash Motorsport. White Trash Motorsports here. We're out in the shop right now. We have the old 6.0 here. We're finishing up wrapping it together. I just got to put the air intake on it and we can get it out of the way here and maybe start cleaning my shop up because it's a little bit trashed. I thank everybody for joining us tonight and have some fun. Hopefully we get some guys on here. When I get something, I've always been this way, no matter what kind of vehicle it is. When I find it, I always get like obsessed with it. Like I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm reading forums and message boards and trying to learn everything I can about it, so, which I've had previous experience with the 6.0 Power Stroke, and worked on them and kind of understand, I've done diesel. I've helped my best friend has a trucking company, so I've been around a few diesels here and there, Caterpillar stuff, Detroit stuff. Know a good bit about the two-stroke Detroit stuff. But 6.0, we're learning on it. Like I said, I posted that video yesterday. We was going to talk about doing like a sloppy style on this because, there's a lot of myths out there about this stuff, and we're not going to focus the whole live on that. Don't worry. There's a lot of myths out there, and it's just like any other automotive myth. I mean, we've all heard it. And probably in the real world, when you got big money on the line, I'm not discounting these guys, but a lot of this stuff just comes from a guy somewhere says something to somebody, and then it gets passed on, and it gets passed on, and then, down the road, you're talking to a guy, and he says something, and he's like, well, you can't do that, and as Matt Apple said, you look at the guy, you say, well, why? And usually that guy can't explain why you can't do it. It's because he's heard this regurgitated over and over again, and it just gets passed on as the truth.
Hello, Alan Accord.
What's up, Alan Accord? What's happening, buddy? But, and that intensifies the rumors, and, I'll leave the one caveat with the rant last night, as I understand this. Not everybody either wants to, they don't have the time to tear into these things, because even the simplest task on the 6.0, because just the way everything's packaged in the truck, it takes a long time to do. So they don't really know that. They don't want to know that. It might be easier. Hey, they might have a better job. Their time might be worth more than that, and they don't want to tear this apart. So please don't. I'm not knocking anybody that doesn't want to tear their own stuff apart, because we all have our own reasons. Me, like I said, when I find something, I try to learn as much as I can about it, and and go from there. So that's where we're at with that. These diesels, yeah, they're expensive because it's the teardown. Like around here in my area, the average injector replacement on one of these motors is about $2,000 labor to tear the thing apart and put it back together. So with that understood, then I can see why you wouldn't want to just tear the thing apart, clean the injectors or whatever, because stiction seems to be the main problem on this. I have an injector here that I'll pull apart, show you guys, but it seems to be, this is an old injector here out of a 6-liter diesel, the fuel injector. And inside here, the biggest problem is this is a solenoid here, and your high pressure oil is stopped up right here. When the computer commands it, it opens this high pressure solenoid, and there's a spool valve in there that goes left and right. And that allows the oil pressure down in here, and there's a piston in here with a spring, and that's called your intensifier piston. And basically what that does, it's like a 10-to-1 ratio. So your oil pressure coming in, if it's at 1,000 psi, at the bottom here, the fuel is sprayed out. The fuel enters from the common rail into here. The fuel is sprayed out at 10,000 psi, so it atomizes good, because most people understand how a diesel works with a compression ignition. But so if you had to pay a shop to just go in there and tear these apart, it's going to cost you the same amount of money for these guys to tear these apart, figure out why they're sticking, put it back together. Then you might as well buy injectors. At the same time, then they say you can't cheap out on these injectors because it'll come back and bite you. Now, I've heard there's some good remanufactured on the market, and just like with anything, there's junk Chinese stuff. This is the spool valve piece right here when it comes to these. And this is usually what sticks. It sticks in this bore right here. And in the 6.0 Power Stroke world, that's referred to as stiction. And what happens is now because this is sliding sideways. It's kind of a weird design, because the way Ford had this, all the oil pressure coming in is forcing this piston to the bottom of that bore. And that's really where your binding is. And then when it's cold, there's very tiny drain holes in here that allow the oil out. When that oil's thick, it doesn't want to drain. It causes it a sort of a hydrolock effect too. That and this binding on there. So I can understand then you don't want to pay somebody $2,000 to take your truck apart, clean these out, and it may not work, and put it back together. So in that case, yes, you go buy a new injector and have it installed. We said here at the shop, our goal is mostly to learn things and teach others that we can. Let others learn from our mistakes of what we learned, and try to help people, because that's the whole scope of this channel, is about low budget stuff and about doing things and having a good time and enjoying life, and not have to worry about spending a boatload of money that you can't afford, especially with now. I mean, things are so terrible economy wise. So anywhere you can save a buck, if you got a couple hours, you can pull this thing apart, you can fix it. Enough said on that, I guess, with pulling that apart. We've done a couple things. I've cleaned these injectors. The one seems to still be sticking a little bit. I'm going to pull it back apart, clean it again, because like I said, I got the time to do it here. It's not a big deal. I can do it in the evening, you know. Okay, so I don't run the truck. I'm daily driving the Cutlass. Oh, no. But the Cutlass is running fine. Luckily, it ain't broke. We would still like to get it out a little bit and do some more stuff with it this year, you know, so that's not over. Actually, weather-wise, racing weather's coming in now, because the nights are going to start getting cold. You're going to start making good power. You're not, you know, it's terrible when you're in the car and you're in the staging lanes and it's 90 degrees out. You know, you're in a black car dressed in a fire suit with a helmet, you know, I mean, with your safety equipment on, and it's hot. It is. Even me, I enjoy the heat, and, you know, I hate the winter, so I love the heat. But even then, it does get uncomfortable quick. We're going to work on the truck a little bit. I'm going to finish putting it up so I can get it out of the way here. And then, anybody got any questions on that diesel stuff, you know, or anything they might be able to help me with? Because like I said, I'm willing to learn. I don't know all these myths, and I said, just because someone says you can't do something, that's not a good enough answer for me. I would really like you to explain why you can't do it, you know. And we've all done it. I've wasted lots of money years ago. I wasted lots of money because, you know, the old guys would tell you, hey, man, you get a small block Chevy. Well, if you're going to put that in your car while you're in there, you should go ahead and, you know, throw some rings in it, put some bearings in it, and open it up and check it out, you know, replace all that stuff. Well, you probably should, but the problem is look at it from the other perspective. If that motor's together and running, unless you're going to completely tear it off, send it out to the machine, replace everything new, put it back together, you're probably not going to do anything in there that's going to make that motor more reliable than it already is. I mean, it already runs. And I listened so many times, and I tore stuff apart only to cause myself more problems, because I had disturbed an assembly that held together for, you know, 80, 120,000 miles, and then I got in there and disturbed that, screwed the tolerances all up, and caused myself grief and heartache. On these, it said, you know, with the head bolts, these are torque to yield head bolts. They did have problems with the head bolts on these engines. You know, one thing is why International decided to use 4 bolts per cylinder on a diesel engine. I think the compression ratio on this is like 18.5 to 1 or something, 18 to 1, because it's turbo, it's a little lower. But why someone thought that 4 bolts per cylinder was a good idea, with, you know, knowing that the motor's going to have to live on boost to make any power, is beyond me. But that's not really the issue, because under those conditions, the head bolts really don't fail. The main contributor to failing head bolts in these engines is because the EGR cooler ends up, the main oil cooler plugs on the coolant side, because of there was sand left in these blocks from casting, and that Motorcraft Gold fluid, you know, as it breaks down, has a lot of silicates in it, and it ends up clogging the oil cooler. Well, if you don't have the gauges to watch your oil temperature, as your oil cooler starts to clog, that restricts the movement of coolant coming out of your oil cooler and into your EGR cooler. Now, your EGR cooler constantly has hot exhaust gas coming off the manifold Y pipe, which is actually, it's pre-turbo going into the EGR. It would come out across the back of the motor and feed into the EGR valve on the front of the motor. Well, that's a lot of heat you'd have been feeding into the top of the motor. So Ford comes up with this basically air to water intercooler that uses the engine coolant. Well, what happens when that oil cooler clogs, it starts blocking the flow of coolant going into the EGR cooler. The EGR cooler can no longer control the heat. It overheats, it causes the tubes to fail. When the tubes fail, it dumps coolant into the cylinders, and we know what happens. You can't compress the liquid, so that's usually what causes the head bolt failure and head gasket failures on these engines. That, or like we discussed in the video, the fact that everybody likes to crank them to the moon with a tuner. I mean, the stock motor is like 325 horsepower, and it's like 590 pound-feet of torque at 2,000 RPM. So that's plenty to get the job done. We missed the old truck, and we should almost have a moment of silence for the old F-250, but this will be nice. Once I get this up and working right, I wanted something better because where we're at, our local track that we go to, it's a well-prepped, it's a IHRA track, well taken care of, perfect prep and everything, but it's just not what we're into because on that playing field, that requires a lot of money. The no prep thing, the thing about no prep is you don't have to have the most horsepower. You don't have to have the highest dollar car. You just got to be the guy willing to put the work in to be able to put that power on the ground. So our local track doesn't really get into that. But however, around 3 hours to Ohio, we have several tracks that do put no prep events on. And then there's also the other stuff. I just seen the Kent Rose Memorial happen last weekend. And it was the first one they've had since 7 years since the guy passed away, and it was amazing. I watched, it was at the Street Race Channel. They done a video on it, and it looks like such a good time. We want to get there next year because it was like one big family and a good time in the mountains with good people. And the surface was horrible. It was basically tar and chip they were racing on. So, yeah. So that's really, we're putting your work in, we get it done, but we got to make it to that. So that was really the biggest thing for getting diesel truck. We'll be able to get us a better trailer and have something a little more reliable to pull with. So, and we couldn't beat the price. Honestly, I couldn't buy a half-ton truck around here. Was a lot more than what this was just because the owner gave up on it, which is the story of our life. It's kind of the whole mission of White Trash Motorsports. Everything we've had for the last my entire life has usually been something that somebody else gave up on, couldn't figure it out or didn't want to figure it out and just sold it off cheap. I mean, we've used that philosophy from everything to the houses I've lived in, the houses I've owned, to the cars I drive, to our boats, to our jet skis, to dirt bikes, four-wheelers, off-road buggies, anything like that. Anytime when someone wasn't willing to invest the money into something because it was either older or wasn't worth it, we usually ended up making a good deal on it and was able to live life and have fun with stuff and not have to extend that much money out. Our motorhome, it turned 50 years old this year.
Yeah.
So, but it still, it still works fine, still. Yeah, there's probably not many campers made today that rolled off the assembly line that's still going to be around in 50 years like that one is, and that one will probably be around in another 25 years. It'll probably make it to 75 because we take care of it, but it's just crazy to think that things are like that. Our boat, we've got a boat, that boat, when we buy it, about 2012.
Yeah.
12 or 11, it might have been 11, it was 11.
My bad.
We bought that boat in 2011. I put a gimbal bearing in it. I ended up, it was like a $230 kit. Come with gimbal bearing, bellows, everything. Just done the research, looked it up, figured out how to do it, put it together. We used to take that boat every summer, and a lot of summers we spent the whole summer on the lake. That boat's never broke down one time. Never an issue. The one issue we did have at one time, we had a bellows fell on us. The shifter cable bellows fell on us.
Yeah, but it didn't leave us stuck.
No, because we noticed it when we backed it in the water that it was leaking. As I was pulling the trailer out to go park it, I noticed the automatic bilge pump kicked on. Let me get this air clear on here. When I noticed the automatic bilge pump kicked on, knew something was wrong. So I backed the trailer back down, loaded it up, pulled it out, and looked at it, and it ended up being the bellows was leaking when the shifter went in.
Now what are you doing?
I'm gonna put the air cleaner on this here because it's done.
Oh, you
That
got the.
time, we
you
was
got-
at camp. We just got to camp at night. We were already paid up for like the next week, so I had to get extorted to go to the marina and pay $40 for one little boot that was basically about the size of your pointer finger that just goes over the shifter cable, and it's like the size of a 10 gauge wire opening on one end, and then it tapers to about an inch on the other end, and they end up way back then charging me $40 for a little boot, but
Yeah.
we had to get it because, like I said, we was already had camp set up. That was the last thing we were doing for the day, was putting the boat in the water, and then we was going to go back to camp and eat. We done that, lived with that, learned. I met my best friend there for a long time. He was a heart transplant recipient. So in his last couple of years of life, everything, I used that same philosophy with everything he wanted. He wanted an off-road buggy, so I built him a stock tractor that we found for, we pay like $200.
Couple $100.
A couple $100 for
Wasn't
what-
much.
Yeah, and modified it, put some 31s on it, welded the rear end and stuff, and got him out to do that. And then he wanted the jet ski, then he wanted the boat, then he wanted the camper. We was always able to find the stuff cheap enough, and I would work on it to get it running for him so he could do it. So at least I know them last couple of years that he was alive, he went out and did everything that he wanted to do. At least anything that he asked me, I always made sure that
He got to do it.
Yeah. And that's some of the best time. Those pictures when you see him smiling ear to ear when we're up at the lake, all standing outside, like him and Finn sitting there in lawn chairs outside his motorhome, big cigars, just laughing because who would have thought, that he was able to do that stuff? He never thought. There was one time he was in a position, remember, where he, lost as little as $30, and he's calling me, telling me, that his whole summer's ruined. He ain't gonna be able to go do nothing over $30.
Yeah.
Dude, no. We're not gonna let you miss out on that stuff for $30. Or like the time when his camper, when his fuel pump went bad, and pieces of the fuel pump diaphragm ended up in the carburetor. Plugged the float needle valve assembly on the carburetor and caught on fire. He comes out, he's exhausted because he'd been sick for a couple of days, but he wasn't missing going to camp with us. He walks back to me and he just looks aside, not excited. He's like, everything's on fire up there. I'm like, well, Duff, we got to put it out. So I run up and smother the fire out and get it fixed. I ended up having to, I towed him back with the chain with the truck that day. Towed the camper back because we was only about 8 or 10 miles on our way to camp. And he ended up not being able to go to that one. It was right after that one he got sick. So, which he wasn't feeling good that day. Because remember, I was loading the camper up that day.
Yeah, he
had
was
laid
sick.
down in the air condition. He brought his camper down, just parked in the driveway, and went in ours because we had the AC running. He went there and laid down while I was getting everything ready to go to camp. This thing's all done. So I've always used that, buying stuff cheap and fixing it. I've used that as a way to do things that at other times in life I wouldn't have been able to do. It's got me by. And just my ability to do things, I just don't mind. Like I said, I get obsessed, borderline obsessed with this stuff. Sometimes when I get something new, it'll become an obsession to where I have to keep at it until I get it working.
There you go.
Until I
Right.
figure it out. Yeah, that's just me. And the truck, how many times have I taken it apart? I mean, probably didn't have to, but quite a few times I've taken it apart because it bothers me that something's wrong and I gotta get it figured out. I don't really need to right now, but it bothers me enough that I have to. I think we should be able to restart it, get out of the garage.
Maybe.
Yeah,
We got to move the cutlass.
because this truck's lost a couple tens so far.
Huh? Lost a couple tens.
Usually it's 10mm socket.
Oh, yeah.
Usually the internet joke is 10mm sockets, but this one I've lost 2 10mm wrenches and 13 so
Wow.
That I got up there on the Y pipe because that one Y pipe, I lay that cardboard and you got to lay in there,
Yeah.
wrap your arms around the turbo and reach in behind to tighten that one bolt.
And
And 2 times I forgot and left my 10 millimeter on the top that was holding it
wow.
and drove off. So I've lost that twice. But how many times have I had it apart? I don't know.
I don't even
I
know.
just redid that because, like I said, we had a turbo failure.
Yeah. You getting it though?
Well, yeah, when we got the truck, it had that bad leaky Y pipe
Yeah.
and wasn't making no boost. Well, okay, well, we found out why it wasn't. Well, it wasn't making no boost to the Y pipe leaking. We fixed the Y pipe,
I broke that shaft,
took it
didn't
for a
it?
ride. It ran good. On the way home that night, it fell on its face and quit making power, and my turbo whistle went away. And then that's when I found this. And like I said in the video, and I was ranting. This grinding right here is where they grind them to make this spin neutral.
Yeah.
So as long as it's balanced that way, I don't see where it could be too far off balance. My opinion, I could be wrong, but
Could
like
be.
I said, it's worth it to me to try because, $100 replacement shaft kit, which is sold as a whistle wheel, is what they sell that kit as, but
Whistle well.
that's the 2003 and up, or the 2003 to 2004 10 vein turbo, and then people were complaining that their turbos were too loud on these trucks. The Ford went to a 13 vein to quiet it down a little bit. I love the turbo whistle. It's like part of the appeal of what the 6.0 was, that they whistle like
Yeah,
that.
well, I didn't know what the whistle was.
No, but I do like
Oh, I
it.
do.
It sounds really good.
What is that whistle one? I did not know.
Maybe I should try it. I should back the cutlass up first.
Uh-huh. I'd say you better move the cutlass.
It's not pulled clear up against it, but I don't want to run over it.
No, can't run into the
Go get my
cutlass.
steering wheel dirty.
Huh?
I said go get my steering wheel dirty.
Oh, yeah, I could have moved it. I could have moved it, but it'll be all right. He's gonna fire this baby up here in a few as soon as he moves the cutlass out of the way, guys, and see if everything's okay. We sure hope so. He's been working on this on and off. But yeah, we'll be back here in a few minutes, guys. Just hang in there. So, how's everybody doing out there tonight? Y'all doing okay? Huh? Oh, here he comes. Alright, he's coming back, guys. So, he's making it back. I try to keep you company, but I really don't know a whole lot what to say. I know a little bit, but I don't know a whole lot. So, if you got headphones on, you may want to take them off for a minute because this thing is a little bit loud. They're a little loud, guys, so maybe you better. Yeah. We just got to start up and leave it warm up for a few minutes. So we're getting ready to fire this baby up. Here we go. Got to check for exhaust leaks, dude. He's so short, yes. Checking for leaks, guys. Hopefully he doesn't have it. Once it gets hot, then it'll get burnt. Hopefully he don't have no leaks. You think you got a small leak? Maybe a small leak? Get these guys a little bit closer here. We don't want to make him dizzy. Well, we gotta move this camera now and get it a little bit closer. I said I gotta move a little bit closer. Ooh, we got a leak. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, and that one went on for a few seconds.
Ooh, what is it? Oil.
Well, it's oil, but why?
Alright.
I'll figure it out. It's probably...
Got an oil leak, dude.
Yeah, when we get down a little bit, look for it. I'll find it. It didn't have it started. I think I didn't let it sit there and idle any longer. As I said, that's clean oil, so just put the oil.
Good thing,
Just
yes,
put
sir.
that in there.
Extra.
Yeah, well, it'll be fine. I can find why it's leaking.
I'll try to
Well,
get it.
it's the only really be leaking. The only thing I had off was the turbo, so it's
Might be. Try to get you a little closer here.
pretty bad. So we need to drain on the turbo. The drain can't take turbo back off it, so.
Good.
But it doesn't happen.
Oh yeah,
It'll go everywhere.
it will happen. It's got oil everywhere, guys.
Okay, it's on the manifold there. That's plugged in. Where was it leaking?
I don't know.
No, I didn't find out.
I have no clue.
I think it's the turbo drain. And this
Oh,
one
no.
manifold has to be the turbo drain. That's the only thing up with it. It wouldn't run if it was leaking anywhere else. It wouldn't run. It has to be the turbo drain leaking. That sucks with the turbo. I come back off. Well, it is what it is.
Is that what it is?
Huh?
Is that what it is?
Well, that's all it can be. There's nothing else it can be under there. There's no other. If the oil line on the turbo itself is leaking, then that's all it can be. I don't see no oil leaking there, so. This pedestal's good. It looks like it's coming out of the turbo drain.
Mm.
And it's spilling, so it has to be where it's leaking. If it was leaking out of the yard valve, it would be running. Oh, well, yeah. I'll get
I gotta get some light so you can see.
it probably pulled out when I was rocking the turbo.
The drain?
Probably, it has to be the drain. That's
There has
all
to
it
be
can
nothing else.
Yeah, it has to be the turbo drain. Well, we'll figure it out. It has to be a turbo drain. There's nothing else it could be. You can't really see it from the top. That's the only problem. Everything's in the way.
Everything's in the
I'll
way.
figure it out.
Hey, Brian.
The oil line is not leaking, you know, because that's the only other thing it can be. There's nothing else to leak that bad. That's the only thing it could be is the drain on the turbo. It's running down the back of the transmission. It was leaking out onto the floor.
Yeah.
Clean this mess up. That's all good. I'll just have to pull turbo back off.
So what you ought to do?
Yeah, well, like I said, there's no ring in there, and maybe I had to. It went together real easy. Usually you don't pinch that over, and that's weird. Something weird happened.
Is there a drain plug in? I mean, a drain
No,
thing?
no, it's coming. It has to be the turbo, the oil drain on the turbo. That's the only
The
thing
oil
out there
drain?
that can leak like that. There's nothing else on there that could leak that much oil that fast.
Wow. That was a good bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it is, but there's a big puddle under there. It's really pumping it out.
Well, it ain't now, is it?
No, not on the top, but it's really leaking. It leaked.
Probably at least a quart or so. You think?
Yeah, there's a big puddle under the truck. So it has to be. There's no external oil passage. It's the only place it can be leaking is that drain on the turbo.
That means it's gotta come back off.
Yeah, there. I clean this up before. Yeah, because there's a puddle everywhere.
There is.
If you run it down right there, no leaking. As I said, it wasn't even running that long to lose that much oil. It was barely running.
Yeah, it wasn't on long.
See anything running down the side of the block. Both sides, yeah, it has to be the turbo drain. Because the oil cooler is internal. And the only thing, there's a feed line going into the turbo and then the drain. And so the feed line, I can see the housing. I don't see no oil on it. So it had to be going through the turbo and then it's leaking out the drain onto the ground. I bet the
tell.
No, not really. You can't really tell with the turbo there, but that's all it can be. There's nothing else. It has to be the turbo drain. It's running right off the valley. It's running right out of the valley, so it has to be the turbo drain. It wouldn't matter anyway. We'll get it. We'll get it. It's not a big deal. I sound pretty good at taking that turbo off, but I can do it off and back on in less than an hour. And like I said, I made it that I had the, it went right on. I was thinking I had the Y-pipe loose. It went right on easy. It dropped right into place. O-ring, or the V-bands went on easy. I didn't have to twist it or fight it. But it might have popped it out. It happens, but it's leaking everywhere.
Yeah. We'll get it. Well, I don't know why I say we, because I don't do nothing. I just watch sometimes.
I'll figure it out.
I don't do nothing with it.
That's what it has to be.
I mean, I watch you, but I don't touch. I don't do nothing.
That's the only thing on there that
I
can leak
won't
that
touch
much has to be because there's no place externally that would leak like that. The only thing is getting enough oil pumped through it right off the top of the motor because if it was the high pressure oil pump sets under the turbo, but if it was leaking high pressure oil, one thing would be spraying over and the truck wouldn't start.
Yeah.
If you have a high pressure oil leak on these, they won't run.
Oh,
So
it's probably that.
you gotta have 500 psi on the high pressure side, or the truck won't even idle. It won't start. So that's the only thing it can be is that O-ring.
You got one? Might have got one.
No,
You should have one.
No, I don't have it, but it's probably just not in place. It's probably just the tube probably popped out on the other side or something like when I was trying to get it on last night without. I don't know, it's fine. Figure it out.
It is what it is. You'll figure it out. You'll take it off and find the leak.
Yeah, well, that's all it can be.
Can't be nothing else.
I don't want to damage it.
No. So
I
it's
don't want leaking oil everywhere, making a mess. I spent all that days cleaning it. I don't want to make a mess of trying to get back together. Or trying to. Alright, I can pull it off out here. No big deal. I can pull it loose. Pull your teeth back off. Just put that on. Go through.
Huh?
I said, I pull your hair tube off. I said, you didn't take tube. I said, just put it on.
oh yeah, you just stuck it on.
You know, take it back off.
Now you gotta take it back off.
That's why we do cars.
On and off.
That's it.
You have that down pat like you do the Cutlass.
You know, the Cutlass is a lot simpler.
There's a little bit more room for the Cutlass.
Not only that, you know, the whole turbo,
For the Cutlass?
yeah, the placement where the turbo's at, the Cutlass and all that, I did all of that. I built that, you know, I built the mounts for it.
Yeah.
I built all that on the turbo, on the Cutlass, so everything was built with mind that if you're at the track and you gotta take it apart quick to fix something,
You can.
I left room to access everything.
But they didn't leave no room on this.
No, but,
It's pretty tight up in there.
well, they said the best way to change head gaskets is lift the cab off of the frame.
Really?
Yep.
Damn.
You can do it other ways, but either lift the cab off the frame, or remember you take this whole center, all this real bumper, and you can pull the motor out the front. That's really the only two ways to do it.
Either take the whole
The
front.
easiest way is with a lift, yeah, just take the body mount bolts out, take the master cylinder off, unplug the wiring, and unhook the steering shaft, and just
Pull that up.
lift the cab up off on the lift,
Well,
change the head gaskets, and set it back down.
the
on.
whole cab.
Huh?
The whole front half.
Mm,
Oh, that seems like a lot of work.
not really. That's why it costs so much to take them and have work on.
JB Little Shop.
What's
up, buddy?
JB? Yeah, I'm trying to see where it's going.
He said, oh crap, we're on a Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Fix
on
and
a-
repair daily, it seems like.
Fix and repair daily, he said it seems like. I don't know if you heard him.
Repair daily. Oh, when it runs good, it runs good.
Oh, yeah.
No, I just had the turbo off, and I must have either knocked the drain tube loose or pinched it over, and I put it back on. So of
And
course
now it's leaking the oil out. You'll get it though. You'll take that back off and figure it out.
she's a leaker.
It's a leaking now. You had to really go.
You wouldn't think that's one thing about these motors too, is they get low on oil.
Yeah.
You couldn't really like drive off and hurt. I don't think you can hurt these motors by running on the oil because they'll shut off long before.
Yeah, found on the road dead. Yep. Well, that's what it means, isn't it? Found on the road dead.
It could be worse. I could be working on Duramax. That'd be worse.
I guess it could be worse.
I think it looks like the tube. Yep, the tube's out.
The tube.
Yep.
Wow.
Like I might have broke it.
Oh.
No, it looks like it's just popped out. I might be able to actually get a pry bar in there.
Put it back in.
Pop it back in. I can see it. The bottom of it. That's what happened when I was working that turbo around. I must have pulled the bottom of it. I can see it cleanly. I can see the O-ring looks good. It's just underneath the turbo because it's just an O-ring on each end, and just because the turbo is bolted down, it holds it in place.
Wow. I don't know.
Like I said, it looks like I can put a pry bar down and just pop it back on.
It'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. So
Well,
take it apart.
probably won't be that easy though.
Probably not.
Probably not.
If it was easy, everybody do it.
That's right. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It'll probably not. It would be nice if it did. I guess.
There's that.
Let's see. Hopefully, pray, it just goes pops.
Just get the turbo loose from the pedestal and lift it up and up.
Put it back in.
Put it back in place. See what it's at. It's just getting to it.
Getting to it's the problem.
Yeah, because it's under the turbo on the manifold
Oh.
there.
Well, we'll figure it out.
It's wedged, so I'm going to have to take the turbo loose. At least loosen it up. I want to take the pipes off because the pipes flex. But I got unbolt the turbo from the mount on the motor and I can lift it up and not probably.
Sorry, still working in the shop, so can't hear much with the machines running.
Yeah.
Little JB little shop.
Yeah.
You know what? That's
Oh, I
okay.
hear that, JB. You got a machine running around, dude. I can't hear anything with a machine run, especially. I have a hard time hearing people talk if there's a machine running in the background. It just like scrambles my hearing.
Yep, you're right. Fix or repair daily, Alan said.
Yeah, probably so.
Probably so, he said.
Eventually we'll get it fixed where we won't have to, and this was self-inflicted for him.
He'll get this, though. He's pretty good at
stuff.
doing
In a
stuff.
hurry to get it done.
Well, you're pretty good at doing stuff anyway, so.
That's my fault. I did it. It's my mistake. It ain't the truck.
No, it was your mistake.
It's not even Ford's design. I just didn't get it in where it needed to be.
It'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
They could have designed it a little better.
They could have. I don't know why they got stuff so tight in there. There's no room under there.
Yeah, for
Really?
a big truck.
For something, yeah, that big, there's not much room in there.
The problem with this is that cowl there. It's set so far back underneath the cowling of the truck.
Oh,
Makes it hard to get to.
see, I don't know nothing.
Oh,
All I know is of watching you work on it. I don't know how to fix
the
it.
firewall comes out here so far. It's hard to get it. Well, there's only 3 10-millimeter volts with the turbo.
That's it.
Yeah, one out.
One out and two to go.
The 2 pipes in the air tubes on it. But just asking to hold it on, there's a 3 10-millimeter volts.
I'll be all right then. Get this fixed.
One just down, straight down the back, and you get one on each side.
Oh.
Move that camera closer.
You want me
Closer
to?
so they can hear me.
We're moving in closer, bud, so you can hear him. I don't know if you can hear him or not.
Not that far. I gotta yell.
Okay, is everything good now? Can you hear him?
Yeah, it should be a lot better there.
Is that better, guys?
EV bolts out on a sinister diesel. Yeah, I'll get it here.
You'll get it, yes.
The boy said it just sucks that I missed it, but I should be able to maneuver it enough to get it back in. If not, I'll take it apart.
He says, or JB Little Shop, or it could be first on race day.
Could be
Take your
backwards.
truck.
Could be backwards. Driver returns on foot.
My God. Could be.
Found on Russian dump.
Hello, Carlene. Thanks for stopping in. Carlene's on here.
Well,
She made it, she said.
thank you.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much,
I'll
guys.
work on that piece of crap.
We appreciate all you guys stopping in and checking us out.
Working on 6.0 diesel. Typical.
Yeah,
No power joke here.
more power
See,
joke.
that's a nice, I mean, the nice thing about the Cummins and the Rams is the Cummins is an inline motor, so you got a lot more room around it.
Yeah. These ones here, you don't have much room.
The 6BT and the 6.7. Now that 5.0 Cummins that they make, that V8 Cummins that they make and put in these and the Nissan trucks have it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a little cramped tight like this because there's really nowhere to package it. Just set the turbo up here in the middle out of the way, but where they can get it. Yeah, I would have probably routed it. I'd have made the manifolds and put it up front, that way you didn't have all that heat right underneath the cab and truck. But hey, what do I know?
We
I
don't.
just work on. I don't get to design it. I would have probably designed it a little different, put the turbo in a different spot.
Yeah.
But whatever, it was Ford.
You're not the designer. You're just
The
the.
International design this one.
Yeah. You're just working on
The
it.
International Harvester motor.
International Harvest.
My magnet.
Yeah. Might work better.
Yeah, my magnet. I left my magnet under the hood. I've been looking for it. It's sticking there on the hood.
Oh.
My magnet.
Well, now you know where it's at. Hmm? It's on the hood then. There. Now, if that would stay like that.
That's the other problem when you don't use the magnet mount. Yeah, it doesn't want to. When you stretch it too tight, it just wants to spin.
Just roll around.
Yeah, you can get it. There it is. That's like the only bad thing, negative thing I got to say about the Harbor Freight light is that. It's just how you got to mount it.
Yeah.
If we can get this turbo up just a little bit.
Just a little tad bit, huh? And you can fix
the
the.
turbo and not the wiring. I don't want problems with the wiring.
No, that wouldn't be good.
Everything's in oil in there. I can see that. Like I said, they're looking right down through there. I can see the tube where it goes.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. The tube doesn't get in there that deep. If they would have made it go a little deeper, then it would have definitely done a little better. They're going to get it pried over what it needs to be without killing the over. Don't you know, get it more tasty in.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to mess that up. Don't want to mess that up.
Come off.
Huh?
Well, I said, I'll probably have to take turbo. If I can get it up out of the pedestal, he said, I'm pretty proud of it. I'm proud of wearing it.
Yeah, you don't want to.
My hand almost fits. Almost fits the turbo drain.
Almost. Almost don't count, though.
No, unfortunately.
Oh,
If I
no.
get another bar, when I put my knee on that one, I'm lifting the turbo about 3/4 of an inch. Trying to get on the flexion of the pipe. Maybe I can get another bar and I can push that tube down.
What the heck?
She was bleeding everywhere. Bleeding, boys. She's bleeding.
It had to go. We couldn't hold it no more.
It's a gusher.
It was a gusher.
Well, I knew, as I said, when I saw that much oil, I knew there had to be, there's only a couple things that can be that bad.
It was a gusher.
That was a turbo drain, as soon as I seen the oil. It was my first. Well, I figured it could have been the inlet line, but I looked at that and seen that it wasn't. when it wasn't that line, the feed line to the turbo, then again, you had to do the drain. Light.
Well, yeah, I need light.
Alright.
Getting dark on
You
us.
do the three-hand trick when you don't have three hands. You put your knee on.
A three-hand trick. You use your
Put your
knee
knee
for
on the
one
bar.
hand and then your hands for the other. Yeah, that'll work. Maybe. That'll work.
Down, and really, my biggest thing is I hate taking that exhaust leak. It's gonna have to happen. If I take the exhaust leak, then take the Y pipe back off. Hey, that's. Well, I have to lift the turbo up out of there. Now that's the only way it's gonna work. It can work any other way. So when you get 10 there, I need 11.
You gotta take it off.
Yep. I'm gonna take Y pipe off.
Take the Wi-Fi off.
Well, first I gotta pop the turbo off, and then I can come back. I can take the Y pipe off and put it back together.
Yep. Almost.
Yeah, take it back. Yeah, we're taking turbo back off.
Taking it back off.
Take it off, put it on, take
Take it off, put it on. Take it
All
off.
because that's and I told you how easy it went on there too. I should have thought about it, but it went on that easy. It was
Out of whack.
you know, it wasn't out of whack, but it went on there so easy that I thought that I should have made sure that turbo drain was on there before I bolted the pipes back on it.
Well,
Oh, well,
I guess it will be
it's a
fine.
little setback, that's all.
A little setback.
And the cars.
That happens, though.
Yeah, it happens, because it ain't upset everything.
Really does. That's out of the way.
Alright.
That'll be out of the way for a moment.
Exhaust plate off, down plate.
So you gotta take that all the way off?
I gotta take turbo, yeah, pretty much. I gotta roll the turbo out of there because if I don't, I gotta take it out of the way to push that drain back down when it's wrong.
Yeah.
Line everything back up.
Huh?
Huh?
Just gotta line everything back
Yeah,
up.
but I gotta take the turbo out of there, and I do that, then I'll have to loosen the Y pipe
Oh,
off the manifold again to be able to line the turbo, the pipes back up on the turbo. Because they don't line up unless they're loose on one end, they're too tight on this end, so
wow.
it's fine.
Wow, wow.
Exhaust V-band.
That
Take
takes
the Y pipe
some work.
off now, 'cause the turbo's unbolted, I got all the bolts out of the turbo.
Oh, you got them all out?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
taking the Y pipe off.
Yeah, I got take the two V. I got the down pipe V-band off, now the up pipe, which is the Y pipe, I'm pulling it off right now.
Hmm.
And it all turns my head. Crack it loose, I can spin that V-band off. And then the turbo will be out of there, I can pull it up out of the way. And I'll
You
just
put
have to
that-
put it back
Tube back in.
in. Yeah, I can put the drain tube in, and when I put the turbo back in,
Oh, I want your light.
before I bolt the turbo down, I'll have to loosen the Y pipe up.
Little noise, guys. Uh-oh. You got another battery charge?
No, probably not. I think these stupid clamps suck. This
What's
one,
up,
this
guys?
is my-
Oh, not much, Kayla. Still tinkering with this truck.
A leak.
He had a leak. The truck had a leak, Kayla. It couldn't hold it no more, and it just leaked that oil everywhere. But now he's taking it back apart and back together. What you guys up to, Kayla?
V-band clamp loose. Okay, that's loose. Pop the turbo off. Fix it.
need the phone closer to videoing or no?
Huh?
You want me to try to get you
Oh,
closer?
it's
I'm too
easy.
short to hold it.
What tripod? Should be alright.
I said you had a leak.
Okay.
Kayla says so did a liner I put in last week. Now I'm gonna go put a new one in. A new one in the morning.
That ain't good.
I mean Monday.
That ain't good. That ain't good.
No.
Everything can't get good parts in anything. Really give us this junk anymore.
What's the best tool to cut a tire off of a rim? I'm not paying for someone to take it for junk tire off.
Alright.
A grinder with a
A
cutting
grinder with a
wheel
cutter, if
or
you
a
don't-
jigsaw on total.
if you don't care about the wheel, that's the thing. Do we want to save the wheel or not? If you don't want to save the wheel, take your grinder right at the bead, right where the wheel and the tire meets, and cut down through, cut through the rim into the bead of the tire. Once you cut through that cable that's in the bead, it'll pop right off. But you're going to ruin the wheel. So that's how we do wheels going to the scrapyard. And that's how I do them without taking, just cut it with a cut-off wheel.
I think she probably wants to save the rim
If
because
you
she
wanna
wants
save
the
the rim,
junk
run it
tire
over.
off of it.
Run it over with the car and get 2 bars, and
Yeah.
run it over and break the bead, and then just take a couple pry bars and work the tire off the rim.
Did you get that? Did you get that, Carly?
You can run it over with a car to break the bead.
Yeah.
I actually got a video of doing it with a bumper jack, remember?
Yeah.
I did a video with a bumper jack and how to take bars. Once you do it from the front side
She's
of the rim.
keeping the rim.
Keeping the rim, yeah. I'd run it over with your, because you're going to end up, try to cut it with a cutoff wheel, you're going to end up cutting the rim where the bead rides, because it's down in there recessed. The lip of the wheel comes up and the bead sets below the lip of the wheel. And you'll end up cutting the rim. Yeah, and I would just lay the tire flat on the ground and run it over with your car.
Until you break.
Just the tire, yeah, run over drive right around the edge of the tire, turn the wheel around with your front wheel. Flip it over. Once you get both beads broke, lay the rim on the ground with the back of the wheel down, take your foot and push the one side of the tire all the way down into the middle of the wheel, and then you take your bar on the other side and just work your way off. Then when you get it to the back side, you put a pry forward and tap it off with a hammer. I mean, there's a lot of videos how to do it. That's the easiest way. Because if you try to cut it, you're going to end up damaging the wheel.
Yeah, she don't want
If
to
you're
damage
not
her
careful.
wheel.
It's really, I've tried and I've had issues and ended up breaking wheels going, or cutting wheels going it. So
Yeah, you don't want that.
no,
If she wants to save her wheel, that's the best way to do it, though.
yeah, break it down.
Break
yeah.
it down with the vehicle and over.
That's better. That's all. That would be my recommendation. Like I said, if you don't got a bumper jack, something or a high lift jack, you just run it over with the car. Once you get the bead broke, that's just easy prying it off. It's just getting that bead to break. Make sure you either take the valve stem out though before you try to break it down, because any little bit of air in the tire will keep it from breaking down. So you want to make sure you have the valve stem out. If you don't have a valve stem remover, just cut the valve stem. Valve stems are cheap and you should replace them anyway, because every time I've ever not replaced them, it ended up coming back to haunt me and ended up leaking. When you least expected it or didn't need it, it ended up leaking on you. So that would be my recommendation on that too, would be to make sure that.
She's trying to stay away from manual force. I'm not 28 anymore.
Oh, I know. Well, that's not a lot of manual. Like I said, if you just run it over with the car does all the work other than prying it off. I don't really know any other way. Like I said, cutting it, because the tires so... The valve off?
sideways off. Straight.
No, straight
way.
with the hoses on.
Well, it was like this.
No, it should have been off. It might have been just ready at that point where it was ready to kick on anyway. When you used it,
Sorry about that, guys.
when you put air in the tire, it might have been right there, close to being up ready to kick on. And if the air temperature's changing, it drops enough to kick it on. I must have melted that hose when I was running, and it wasn't melted all the way through, and then yesterday it just popped.
Yeah, that's where it was melted.
Yeah, as I said, when I was grinding the other
It
day,
got something more.
I was grinding by it the other day, and I bet what happened is it probably burnt most of the way through, and then it just eventually. It was really warm yesterday. It's sitting on the street race channel at Billy Hodgson, and he was sitting there, and the CO2 line blew because the plastic got so soft. It was so hot out, it blew the CO2 line off.
It was pretty warm.
Yeah, he just done his burn on. He's gonna go line up and get on the track. The CO2 line blows off, and air all through CO2 all through the car.
Yeah, the last 3 days was pretty hot.
Yeah, he said it'll be cold soon, so enjoy it while it's here. Everybody's long.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, 'cause it won't be long.
Nope,
For our area, it'll be cold soon.
it will be. We enjoyed the weather while it's lasting.
I mean, it sucks to get that warm sometimes. Like I said, it beats the alternative of being cold. It'll be hot any day to cold. And here, I ain't heard telling you to lift this so you know where to put your feet. That's all. I'm still getting it. I got it on loose. I should get the drain again. There it went. That's all. Yep, there's no problem.
There's the
There's the
problem, guys.
Huh?
I said there was the
I
problem,
knew it
guys.
was. The drain's still in the turbo. The drain's supposed to stay in the motor.
Oh, yeah.
The turbo out with the drain sticking out of the water.
That's not
The drain
sore.
went away.
Huh?
That's in the, there it is. See? This
That
end here was out of the motor.
Oh, that's supposed to be in the motor
You
part.
know, you got a
One
three-quarter
end in the
pipe.
motor and one in the...
Yeah, in the turbo drain.
Yeah.
When you got a piece of tubing that big, the oil running through it, leak a lot. Turbo backing up just so I can get to it. It's out of the way. Well, I need to clean that mess up.
Little big shop. He said for the first time in a while he has the shop doors open. Hell yeah. He got them open.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. First thing. Ain't too bad out. It's only going.
No, you can tell the air mass changed
It did
between
since.
yesterday and today. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a big difference. I had pants on today because it was raining this morning. It got pretty cool. And then it warmed, you know, I mean, when the sun came back out, it warmed up a little bit, but it got pretty cool. Rain came out.
That humidity's what. Hopefully it drops some. That's what I.
That ain't one of my bolts. That's one of their bolts. Look, I dropped a nut to that.
I'm in a cooler.
E-band somewhere. Pick it up off the motor here. It's here somewhere.
What's that?
I dropped a nut to that E-band.
Oh. I can't lose that.
I just gotta find it.
Yeah. It is
It's here
cool.
on the motor.
It is cooling off.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
That's how we get it. When the sun goes down, it drops.
Yeah.
You see that storm, but they think that's the one Tommy was talking about. They think that it's going to get pushed off the coast anyway.
Oh, that.
Hurricane, because there's a big low pressure coming across the United States, and it's going to push it offshore.
Yeah.
No, it shouldn't. It should get pushed out in the ocean. It shouldn't affect,
A huge hurricane.
Georgia or the Carolinas. Hopefully it won't affect them. We'll get this huge shield over out yesterday out here.
Wow. Carlene said they had a storm roll through and dropped the temperature 30 degrees.
I'll believe it. Yeah, that's what it did. What, 2 weeks ago or so we had that night, the tornado.
Yeah.
Dropped about that 30 degrees in a few minutes. You know it's going to be a wicked storm when the temperature drops that fast.
Yeah.
Alright, now we need to turn it back on the pedestal. Take the wide pipe loose. You'd think it would line up, but it won't.
No, probably won't.
It won't. I know it doesn't.
It ain't gonna be that easy.
Nope, it never is. That's why I think it's the reason these trucks have their bad reputation is because it's too much work on them. It's so complicated the system. They charge a lot of money. There's heavy bam already. Right now it's uprights in the way. I get something. Get my upright out of the way. The down pipe out of the way.
Get everything out of the way.
The oil drain in. Make sure it's in where it belongs.
Make sure that pipe's in there. That tube. You don't want to have no more leaks. Leaks.
No, I'm going to have to take the wire pipe loose. That sucks. What it is. Okay, there's that.
Look at that. It is dark already.
Yep.
I hate when it gets dark early.
Okay, the oil drain tube is in now.
It's dark.
But the turbo going to get back.
8
I'll take the wire
o'clock.
pipe, so I'll take the wire pipe loose.
8:02 and it's dark now. That's crazy.
I hate this part. You get in there up close and personal with your turbo.
I'm guessing time comes in the next couple months it'll be dark at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
November. When the time. Oh, and of course, that looks like a nice truck. Hope you get her going tonight.
Oh, I'll get it going.
Soon it will be dark. Yeah, LOL, you're right. 5 o'clock, Kayla. I don't like it when it gets dark out early.
I'll get it going on. I don't quit when this stuff like that. Once it gets to me, and I don't know how to quit. I can't let it beat me. Like I said, the worst part is, it's really not that bad. It was just the turbo drain. It's just the fact you got to take the wire pipe loose.
Little Big Shop says, everybody says buttholes and elbows, but this is the first time I've seen in a while.
What is it?
Everyone says buttholes and elbows, but this is the first time I've seen it in a while.
Yeah. Alright guys, yeah. Now I gotta go underneath and just, with my 10 extensions, I gotta loosen up one bolt that goes up in from the bottom and then take the 2 other bolts out. 10 minutes in the bottom now. It's alright. I got a piece of cardboard left and ground's wet and covered the oil. Now I'll get oily.
Oh yeah, now you will.
Truck fell on it. Now we oil everywhere. There's a piece of cardboard now. I'm trying to land the mud and water.
I know, because it rained pretty hard there after a few.
Yeah, we're getting there though, guys.
Uh-oh. Now he's got to get under there and do something.
I gotta loosen the wide pipe up. The turbo's back on, the drain's in, I gotta loosen the wide pipe up. Man, on the doorstep. You gotta...
Garlene said at least they'll have Homer's cracked JB coating. At least you didn't have Homer's.
Yeah, I'm trying not to.
Tries not to, he says.
Okay, now I gotta get that back bolt on the down pipe, or the up pipe. One bolt, it's out, once it's out,
Then what?
loosen that bolt up. I get 2 bolts over on the manifold to loosen up. Once it's all out, then it comes out. 1 bolt to loosen up.
Then you got to put it back together.
Well, I gotta tighten, I gotta tighten them. You just gotta loosen the line pipe up, so the V-bands will go on, because it's not lined up.
Kayla, what's Schultz up to?
So, let me get some extension here. This is where you gotta use like 4 feet of extension.
Because it's way up there.
Yeah, because it's up on top of the motor, but you can't reach.
Get to it from the top.
Well, you can touch it, but you can't put nothing on it yet. You gotta set a wrench on the top of it and then turn the bolt to the bottom.
Uh,
And then the over the oil gets where the transmission gets sticks in the way. It's up on above the bell housing on the transmission support. Yeah.
yeah.
It'll take a couple seconds to get it, but once I get in, it's just hard to see.
It is hard to see. It's dark under
Even
there.
if I was in the garage, it's hard to see because it's up in there so far. We gotta reach up in there and get to it. Like that. Dennis Light had issues yesterday because it constantly won't stay stuck. It's got a magnet in it, but it won't stay stuck.
Huh. That little magnet light.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's a nice light, but if you bump it, it falls off.
Wow.
Every time you bump it, the magnet isn't that strong. Look, I got it working with it since it's been around.
Got it. Sparkler.
Spin around and get the other two and out. Yeah.
Huh?
I said it don't take long now. I got this down to a science.
Oh, yeah.
10 millimeters, 13 millimeters, 11 millimeters.
Good thing I'm not up there. Mine goes up to my neck.
Yeah, keep it on. It's still leaking off the top of the motor. I ain't gonna rag it. I'll wipe that out and deal with it. I just cleaned this thing.
Okay, little big shop. Thanks for stopping
JB.
by, JB.
See you, buddy. Let me get this. I'm almost there. I'm taking the last bolt out and I'll be back up top, guys. You probably can't hear me.
All right, Carlene. Good luck on that tire. Hope you get it.
Probably should be. Sucks, they said, I don't know. I tried cutting them off, cut all the wheels. I had good luck with those in it, cutting the wheels. They said, no, I do with the wheels, I don't like, don't care if I cut. This thing is dripping all over now. I had it clean.
See you guys at the race, JB. Little shop.
Good, baby.
Huh? Okay. Later, you'll see you at the race. See you guys at the race.
You see, that Happel now, she's gonna have a meeting out his way, he's in Allentown. He's gonna have a car meet October 14th. He's not gonna do dyno days, but he's having a car meet.
Car meet?
Car meet. Matt Happel.
Where at?
Allentown.
Oh.
Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Allentown.
It's over towards, what's it called?
Where?
You know, what's the name? What's on here all the time? One-Eyed Cat.
Oh, I'll buy the one-eyed cat.
Yeah, he's out there, a big state.
No.
We want to play together here. Okay, that's together. I like this V-band on here. This don't tighten up real good. This is one of my V-bands from my turbo kits, but I don't like it. Doesn't seem to tighten it. That's on there now, right? Yeah.
That's all counts if it works.
It
Tightens
I don't
up.
like it though.
I don't have to like it.
A couple washers, 'cause it just doesn't seem like it can't get tightened, but I run out of threads before I get all of it tight. Let me put a battery on charge for a while there. Yeah, I need spacer or something. Does that feel like it tighten a little more?
Yeah,
It'll get there.
it'll get there.
That looks slightly bigger than the V-band. Enough in a washer. I can space that V-band out a little bit, make it tight, a little tighter. Because the stud is, it's an aftermarket V-band, and the stud isn't threaded all the way to the end.
Yeah.
You know, the factory V-bands, they are. So factory V-band, you can tighten it till the clamp bottom's out. On this, you run out of threads on the nut before the clamp bottom's out. It wasn't going tight enough for my liking. Okay, I got that pipe on. So I said, I got now, it figured out. That pipe on to get this V-band on, to get the other one on, we'll bolt the turbo down, and we'll get down and tighten the Y pipes up, we're done.
Oh, well.
Together again.
Another 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, not even.
Half hour. 20 minutes,
Yeah,
maybe.
well, like I said, it ain't gonna take long. Hard part's done now.
The hard part done?
Yeah, well, no, I get the turbos off, the drains back in, and put the turbo back on right now. Put the pipe open and Y pipe back up.
Yeah.
Where's it? What turbo? I don't like it. Change the key band up. I change that V band because I don't like it. It ain't tight enough for me. It ain't going tight enough for me. It seems like it's blocking out.
You don't have no more?
Yeah, I got the original one, but the original one, I think I lost the bolt off over. I can find it. I'll find it. If the vat leaks, and you know it's not, you can't have no exhaust leak, pre-turbo.
No exhaust
You
leaks.
know, if it was post-turbo, I wouldn't worry about it. It leaked a little bit matter, but this is all pre-turbo stuff. This has to be right.
Ah,
Yeah, what it is, the clamp's bottoming out before.
before it's tightening.
Yeah, before it's snugging up all the way on the pipe. Went down there and was just flipping. Looks like well, I see the threads are slipped on. I see it. I have a V-band. I have a V-band. I have a V-band.
God, I don't know.
Parts to this.
Another one.
It's here somewhere.
You'll find it. You'll find it.
Huh?
You'll find it.
Yeah, I know. I said walking off on the line.
Doing what?
I think you're walking off on the line.
Well, I can switch the camera around. Oh, we're not offline. There. Yeah, I'm on there now. See, look how short I am. I can't even see in there what you're doing.
Huh?
I couldn't even see what you're doing on here.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know, it's fine.
I got the other part, yeah, I might spin around here. I gotta find this clamp key bolt here.
Well, you want me to spin the camera
You
around?
can, yeah, but I gotta look for the key bolt here. I know it's here. I have
He's
it.
gonna look for something,
I got
guys.
everything scattered over. Let me turn the part, put the other in it.
Well, he's back here.
Yeah, you know, I got all the nuts and washers on the table.
There are somewhere.
It should be here on the
Well, I don't know what you're looking for.
I just have to find it. I had it the other day. See that clamp there?
What is it? Get out of here, bug. I don't like bugs. Well, I don't know what it looks like.
It's a key bolt.
Huh?
It's a bolt shaped like a key. See how that bolt will get there? And you got to put it over here, get the one on there, that's it. If I have to, I just dump them all, because if I get in there, I just got it. I had it laying on the table. That was like 3 or 4 days ago. What? What happened, I dropped it, I used the V-band, and I found it, and I got it apart, and I put it back in with the other clamp. the other ones don't come apart. Only these ones come apart. Socket. Yeah, socket. Cord, yeah.
Found it? You found it?
If it's got oil on the small amount, it's probably that one.
Found it. Found it, guys.
Oh, sure, I'll have it.
You found it, didn't you? You found it. Huh?
I said this one takes a 7/16.
Oh.
This is the factory V-band right here for it. That's what everything is. Put that on here. It's lined up, but you can't put none of the bolts.
Okay, guys, I'm making you dizzy, huh?
Everything's in good.
Making you guys dizzy. Spin, 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 guys. Spinning around.
See, normally I put my cardboard in here. That way I can just put the news on it. There's nothing smooth that you want. So that's why it really is tight. So,
Yeah, it'll work.
huh?
That'll work.
Yeah, eventually I have to get the clamp back on.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to do.
Oh, get that up here. Oh, as it says, it's just in a bad place.
Oh,
Come on.
get on there.
I'm so close to it.
I'm on the clamp. Get the button on there.
There we go. I gotta work around enough pipe waste to put back there. Why is it getting ready to get?
Oh, no.
Come on.
That's a big. It can be.
Huh?
It could be aggravating.
Yeah, when it's being stupid, it is aggravating.
Yeah.
Okay, now I gotta get that line back up. If I had it, I just had to knock it loose. Because you have to get these pipes together. That V-band clamp will not draw a connection together.
No.
You have to have it connected and tight before you put it on. If it's not, it'll stay out of line.
Don't want that.
You have to make sure everyone had it on there tight. Well, I had the connection together. The turbo got to go on with the connection got to be tight together before the turbo's down the pedestal. And then you got to bring the turbo back forward and drop it the pedestal. Tight connected. Now, there we go.
That tube's connected.
Huh?
The tube.
I'll double check it once I get the clamp.
Oh, okay. We gotta make sure, ain't it?
I think I will. That's just probably take it back apart and check it.
Yeah. Make sure, ain't it?
Yeah?
Make double check this time, ain't it?
No, it should have anyway. It was just a weird fluke thing that it didn't. And the other time it never comes out of the bottom. It always comes off the top. So rare instances that it didn't. Man, you're all this together. That's a problem.
Giving you a hard time again.
No, I can't. No, I can't reach my hand in where I need to. You got to squeeze this clamp and start the bolt.
Oh.
Well, if you can't get your hand in it, you can't squeeze it. You can't get two hands. You need one hand to squeeze it, and one hand to start the bolt without knocking the pipe off.
Oh, yeah.
When the pipe's lined up, you don't want to knock it off. Because like I said, you can't hear. No one can hear what's going on.
I can hear.
Yeah, just because you can, just stand in 3 feet from it.
They can hear you.
Doubt it.
I got you close now. They can hear.
Yeah, they can know it.
But it's still hard hearing. But you'll get it.
Well, I got that shotgun mic one. It should make it easier.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there's that now. That's my stupid stick like this.
So you got the beak, that beak. clamp on?
The V-band's on, yeah, but I gotta get it.
To line up.
No, I gotta get it. Start getting it tight.
Oh.
How much room with this one?
There ain't much room in there.
Oh, there's water in back under there. Once you reach back underneath, there's water. Water underneath. Underneath the towel there. The light. Take the light out of it. The light, everything's aluminum on top of right here, so the light don't stick to it.
No. Now you gotta stick to something.
Forever to get clamp tight. Keep it lined up while I'm tightening it. I didn't have this 7/16. I didn't bring it over for the long. Clamp what time to be happy. This socket. I'm making it harder than it has to be. Let me get a 7/16 socket or 11mm for the 3/8 drive, 7/3 extension. I ain't got to reach underneath.
Get a socket.
What?
I said you had to go get a socket. 11mm deep. Better late than never, Schultz. He said he's late, but he made it. I said better late than never. Looking for a socket, dude. Because again, everything wants to give you a hard time.
Okay, now I should be able to get this easier with that. Put this and hold it with one hand. I ain't gonna try to reach two hands. Really?
What was that?
And I had it on tight, and why did it do that? Oh, it come off. That was the bolt. The other end of the bolt I was just looking for just flung off. I had it on tight. It wasn't on loosen.
No.
Why it just come out? You know what I mean?
Don't know.
It went underneath.
I heard it. I heard it.
There it is. And now I gotta get it started again.
Now you gotta get it started again.
It looks fine.
Wonder why I did that.
Yeah, I had the drill on, or the impact on tightening.
That's not good.
No, because they're gonna hit it. That's the hard part, lining it up.
Line it up, yeah.
And that V-band, when that comes out, that's what the whole V-band comes apart. Because if it's not 100% lined up, it's on. There's a little gap there, so I'll have to do it up. Why did it come out?
Don't know why.
I don't know why this is giving me such a hard time. The other one I had on and off, I had the whole thing done in the time it's taking me just to fight with this clamp.
Sometimes it does that.
Well, no, it doesn't. Something
Yeah,
wrong.
some.
Why is it not coming through? That pipe ain't lined up now. I hate these stupid there's a now. Start the nut on it.
Hopefully you'll get this time.
Oh yeah, but I get the pipes off loose again. Can't see
All
it.
right, good, because can't see it. It's dark. It is dark.
I see why that ain't right. It's not the right nut.
It
That's
ain't.
why it popped off. This ain't the right nut.
Then that'll explain.
Huh?
That explains.
That's why it jumped off. It ain't the right nut.
That's why.
One like this, I know I've got it here. I'll take this one for now, because this is easy to get to, and I'll just line them up for this one. Get the hard one done first. I get that pipe off again. Yeah, that nut doesn't fit. That's wrong. That other V-band clamp could have been like an issue too, a leaking, because it wasn't fitting all the way like it was supposed to.
Would have.
It wasn't. The right side V-band clamp for this pipe, but it wasn't tightened down. It was bottoming out before it was snug it all the way. Okay. Now, lighten that to get it lined up. We're gonna put the V-band on. Get that apart. Get my light.
Get the light.
Turbo in place. Without knocking oil feed off. Keep on in. You know what? Give me such a hard time.
Done.
I
Good
put
one.
one on 5 minutes.
I know you did. It does sometimes. Just want to give you a hard time.
I get to the angle I'm at. I'm usually coming over from the other side.
Over this way.
On this side, I'm forced to be. I get forgotten under here. Not working.
Don't know.
Knocked it off again.
Did you? Wow. They're giving you a hard time tonight.
I can't. Yeah, I've done this like 4 or 5 times now on this truck. And usually I can just grab it with one hand and squeeze that and put it right on there.
Now you gotta watch it's on reverse, ain't it?
You know, I always check it before I hit it. There's that. I got to tighten it now with my hand. It's snug, but that battery's low, so it won't. Jiggle it in. Trying to get that clamp down where I can reach it once it's together. Tighten it slowly. Once I get this leak fixed, I can fire it, you know what I mean? I can once I get the turbo bolted down and the oil lines hooked up, see what that exhaust leak, and I can start to suck up whole back exhaust, and I'll have oil leak. That's all I'm concerned about there is the oil leak.
Yeah, once you get that fixed. Once you get the oil leak fixed, it'll be alright. Because like you said, with the exhaust leaking, it won't hurt it to move it.
No, just pull the garage exhaust, as long as I'm not pumping oil out of it.
Yeah, as long as it ain't pumping oil. It's pumping it. Tightening. Hippie Miller, hello.
Hey, what's up, Hippie? Good deal. It should be it. Yeah, okay. Now what? Okay. Now I can find out. And then I put the turbo back in place. What's up, Hippie Miller? Wait here. Alright, I gotta find it.
Red Eye Pirate.
Red-eyed Patriot. What's happening,
Oh, okay.
brother?
Hope all is well.
All is well. How you been, buddy?
Hope all is well. It's all well here.
Been a little while since you seen you. How you been? With the fellow, he's a fellow Saudi listener.
Is he?
Watches,
Oh,
he listens to Saudi, and he watches, let's call it, oh crap, Street Race Channel and One Man's Garage.
Oh.
Commenting on there all the time.
Does he?
Like we did, like I did.
oh.
He does a lot of the channels I watch, and so. He's a member of the Saudi Army.
Salt, let the salt flow.
Salt must flow.
The salt must flow.
I don't know if you find the nuts for that one, but I stole it. That eyeball size. That's got a metric tool here somewhere for it.
Well, you'll find it.
Yeah, I got the original nut here somewhere, but I put it somewhere so I didn't lose it.
Well, kind of lost it.
Put it up so I didn't lose it.
You put it up so you didn't lose it.
I sort the metric nuts and bolts I got there.
None of them works.
Yeah. Of course, heavy to eat. Well, I had the nuts in that, because I use that on eBay clamp, and I'm worried about this. Yeah, I got a bucket of nuts and bolts there. I'm sure that something to it. This one isn't as important. Yeah, I don't want it to leak.
No, you don't want none of them to leak.
No, this is a downpipe. It's just leak a little bit. It's not like it's too hard. It won't affect the run.
No.
It won't affect the boost off the turbo or anything. It just causes it. It has to be.
After you get all this done, then we have to clean again.
Yeah.
Get the truck cleaning back up. It's always there. That one work?
Might be a 12 though. I don't see it. Don't matter if it's a 12.
Make them dizzy.
It's the same thread.
I make them dizzy. They don't care.
We're using some oddball sizes.
Make y'all dizzy, guys.
Okay. Let's get this clamp on and get the turbo bolted down. What's up, Hippie Miller? We put it all together, buddy, and I knocked the turbo drain off somehow. Put the turbo back on, fired it up, it was leaking everywhere.
Now we gotta redoing it. You got to take it back
off and redo it. I knocked it out of the block, the drain, on the block side.
Yeah, it let a little leak. It was leaking.
No, put her back together, take it apart, put it together, take it apart, put it together.
I think, yeah.
Huh?
I about right too. Taking it apart, putting it together. Take it apart, put it together. We was doing this with the cutlass too. Taking it apart, putting it together.
Well, the cutlass is expected. The cutlass is designed, pushing the cutlass a little more than it was ever really intended to be.
Yeah.
I expect breakage in the cutlass.
But not this, right?
No, I don't want this to break all the time. I just want this to work so I can drive around. No, that ain't right, because it's not connected. I can see it right now. You can hit it go on. There we go, now that should do it, maybe. Let's see.
Gonna be a master of the 6 O's, though.
Yeah,
Time that was Schultz. That hard,
I'm
right?
getting there. You know what? Take it apart, my eyes closed.
Pretty soon.
I already probably could right now.
Probably could take it apart and put it back together, Josh.
I
But
know everything
you're out
there.
there working in the dark pretty much.
Well, I didn't expect it to leak oil in it. I'm gonna run it leaking oil.
Well, Schultz, one thing, when he's a master of the 6 O's, when you get yours, then he'll know pretty much what to do. Yep.
The 6.0 is not bad. It really is not like it's curved. It's just tight working on it. It's no different than any other modern engine. It has its quirks and problems.
Yeah, true. No different. He says, yep, I'll see him fix it if it breaks. LOL. He said he'll have you to fix it if it breaks. LOL. He's learning on his, Schultz, and then that way he should be
I understand how the whole system works.
pretty much know how to do yours when you get it, if you need it.
I understand how it works once you understand it. Once you got a working understanding of it, it's easy. Work your way through it.
That's right.
Is that? Back turbo bolt 10, look at this, and then take the ring down too. Get my 10. One of my 10s.
One of them.
Huh?
One of them.
Yeah, I used my long 10 on the half 33 job for behind the hold down bolt.
Yeah.
And then I gotta get one tightening the up pipe and down pipe together. Or which ain't bad. I figured out how to do it now, how to get into it. Before I was having a hard time. It took me a while because I didn't know how to get it. The best way to get into it, to do it. Now I figured out what angle to come in at to get to them. And this one you reach down around and tighten that connection. Talk more. Turbo up now, put the bolts in it. Line the turbo up the pedestal.
Line it up to the pedestal.
Turbo's in the pedestal now. One bolt in there to hold the turbo on the pedestal. The pipes are on. The only thing is underneath, oil line, charge pipe, this all stuff. Alright, what do we want to tackle next? Let's do everything else. Put all the turbo bolts in, oil line on the turbo, and then I'll go underneath and tighten the... I'll tighten the Y pipe up top here that I can, and then I'll go underneath and get going.
You'll get it.
Yeah, I'm almost there now.
Almost.
The hard part's done. Everything's back together, the big stuff.
The hard part's done.
Everything just needs adjusted and twisted so that everything lines up right.
That'll work, then. You should be able to move it. Maybe you can put it back in where there's some light.
Yeah, it needs running right now. We don't really need to right now. We're going to put the turbo drain on, or the feed line on. The gasket, the feed.
Yeah. That light likes to move around on you.
Yeah, well, that's when you're hitting now. If you hit your head and you move it, that's the problem. You pick your head up and down and hit it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm putting the oil feed on now. Started. The oil everywhere. We're not leak.
Dakota, time out. Howdy,
Hey,
Gotti.
Dakota, what's happening, buddy?
I haven't heard from you guys
Oh,
in
he's
a long
working.
time.
Putting
I
engine
know
in
he's
the
been
car.
working on that car.
He's trying to get over to No Name.
Yeah.
He's been trying to make it.
It's good that he stopped by. I ain't heard from him in a while.
Hey, man, Dakota.
He's going to stop by.
Yeah.
Well, I watch his videos.
I'm doing it with most. We're working on a power stroke.
Working on the Power Stroke. Yeah. Yeah, we know you've been busy by seeing some videos. You? Huh?
I was trying to tell us to get the oil feed tight. I gotta find the pin on the wrench. I gotta slip it on that manifold.
Working on this diesel.
Right on the oil burner.
Oh, yeah. 1060.
Yeah, I gotta find that wrench.
Huh?
I gotta find that 10mm wrench I have here.
Yeah, it has to be there.
Yeah,
I can't help look for it because I can't reach up it. I
Should
can't
be
even see
all
up
my
it.
tools should be right there on the front. Where I was putting everything. Get other pry bars here to make sure they're all both out of here.
When I get done being busy, I have to start getting busy again. Dakota.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. Get one thing done, you on something else. Yeah. Get one thing done, get another project to do. Yeah, how it goes.
I'm just learning how to work on these.
You just learn how to work on these 6.0 diesel.
Learn the ins and outs.
Learning the ins and outs.
Now I get the wrench out. No idea how I get that stuck on it. There's no way for it. Really.
Giving you a
It's
hard
stuck
time.
on the cowl, it won't come out of there.
Is it?
Yes, and it's tight.
Huh?
And I can't get it to come off. And it wasn't, it's right in there. Because I didn't understand it. I put it right down in where it belonged, boom, dropped it right on, tightened it. I understand loosening it because you'll bind your wrench up sometimes when you. And I put that one in and tightened it, and then it wouldn't come out.
Huh.
Alright, there's that. Now, I gotta find who did have that 10mm wrench. It has to be here because it's a good 10.
It's
Okay,
there.
it's still on the pipe. Okay, that's fine. Alright, all we gotta do is the up pipes, the air intake, and hopefully make sure everything looks good here. That thing looks like it's in now. Looks like it's where it needs to be. Let's put variable VGT. Here's a variable main turbo. Put them in there. I hate that I got that oil all over my engine. I have to clean it.
Well, you have to clean it again.
Yeah,
Ain't no biggie.
it makes you mad.
It makes you mad, but it ain't no biggie. Gotta do what you gotta do.
One tight, and I'll take the bottom.
Got to do what you got to do. What's wrong now?
I don't know.
You don't know?
This light doesn't, you know, it dims itself if you don't really turn it on every once in a while.
I thought it looked a little bit dim. Probably.
Here it is. 13 millimeters. Supposed to hold the water. On the other side, you can
A 13 millimeter.
no, 13 millimeter wrench. I guess I got a ladder to climb up and down.
Yeah, you gotta use a ladder. I guess I could stand on a ladder and
Well,
help
the
you.
ladder doesn't make you get no water.
Make it easier, ain't it?
I had that floor roast.
Ladder work.
Because normally this one is where I just lay at the top of the motor. And reach in two hands and tight. This I need one of that top side creepers.
Gonna have to get one of them.
Yeah, definitely give me one to work on this trip.
Yep.
You gotta lay like this, lay out on it.
Top side. You showed it to me.
Ah.
Now what?
So I hope that one fell all the way to the ground when I dropped the ratchet. Because every time you get in here to where you need to be, stuff falls and you gotta. I didn't hear the one hit the ground. I heard the wrench hit the ground. Like the ratchet. Get underneath it. Look for him because it didn't hit. I didn't hear it hit the ground.
I didn't hear it either.
So I heard the wrench hit the ground. See the wrench. Wrench oil hit the ground.
Well, yeah.
But I gotta find that
That
ratchet.
ratchet.
Not straight from here. I can see where I dropped it from.
It has to be there. I
So
heard.
I'll cut this with it. I usually just fish in there on my magnet. The magnet here. Oh, yeah. What time is it? What time is it?
8:47.
Huh?
It's only 8:47.
Oh,
Yeah.
you spent the whole time on it here. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be done with it.
Well, I know, but sometimes you gotta do that.
I wanted to be done.
It happened. It ain't nobody.
Shouldn't have.
Huh?
It shouldn't have.
It shouldn't, but it did.
You gotta find it. Where I heard it, I said it come off.
I heard the hit, but I don't know what it hit.
No, I got the wrench. I gotta find the ratchet. I dropped the whole ratchet down there behind the pipe. It dropped straight down the back of the. Yeah, this is cool. You know what, boy, I don't think I get the magnet down in there on the phone. I couldn't pay attention to the steering wheel, but it has to be there because it just rolled around. It has to be the bell house. Come on. And it was quiet when it slid away, so it didn't hit anything. It just slid down the bell house. It didn't fall. The cardboard it fell and be on the ground on the cardboard. It did not come all the way down.
No, only the wrench.
No, it's the ratchet. It's the ratchet across it. They said so. It's big. It's so rigid.
Well, now it has to be there. It's not little.
It slid down the bell housing, but I can't find it. Gotta be under there somewhere.
It has to be. It has to be there.
Yeah, the whole bell housing. Let's see.
I don't know. I only heard one thing fall.
You know, another 800%, it's probably good. It's on that ratchet.
Has to be there.
Rubbing the whole bell housing with a magnet. Hitting the whole top of the transistor with a magnet. I'm feeling the whole top of the bell housing and I'm feeling it.
Huh.
It's gotta be there because it drops straight down. You can see where it fell from.
Yeah, it dropped straight down. Should be there. Find it, huh? We knew it fell,
Yeah, I know it did too, but I know it did also know.
but I didn't hear it hit the ground.
Nothing hit.
Wow, I didn't hear it hit the ground.
No, that's the worst part about dropping stuff is I gotta lay back into it. I'm trying to lay around killing yourself with it.
Yeah. Now, what are you trying to tighten?
I'm tightening up the wide pipe now.
Oh, the Y pipe. Okay.
You gotta take it loose.
The Y pipe. Yeah, you had to take it loose.
You can't get the V-bands on the turbo unless the wide pipe.
Oh, well, yeah. Makes
Flex joint.
sense, I guess. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Makes a little sense. We'll get it. Well, then you got underneath to tighten.
Yeah, I got a couple more, 3 bolts tightened underneath.
Oh, yeah. 3.
I think if you top, this top one, I go underneath. The other bolt on this one, there's 2 bolts in each way. There's one more bolt on this one, and there's 2 bolts I get loose from the driver's side exhaust manifold. And then that should be it. Other than putting air tubes on it.
Wow.
That bolt's down there.
Come on, you idiot.
What?
My phone. Don't work good right here.
Well, you just stand right beside the router, you know, Wi-Fi.
I have both on. Well, the router and my regular. But it keeps saying it'll come on every so often to retry. It's stupid. I lose it for a second and then I hit it and it's right back.
There's that. Now I'll get all my long extensions, 1/2 inch, and 15, all that in the bottom.
Yeah.
All my extensions. Way up on top.
Way up on top. You need all them long
Coming
wrenches.
in for the bottom, yeah.
Need them all.
Behind the motor, up behind the exhaust manifold, or the pipe, whatever it is. This sucks, and you want to do this like that, I didn't do live on this.
You didn't want to be it all night doing this.
I didn't care. I didn't want to do the whole live.
The whole live working on trucks?
Yeah. I didn't want to have to waste the whole live on these guys while I'm here working.
Yeah, they probably, they might be okay with it. They'll be okay with it, maybe.
Yeah, I know, but I don't interact with the truck.
No, but they
But they can't hear me when I'm in the truck.
they can ask questions. I'll help answer them. If I'll repeat them.
They pop on and I'll look at truck. You don't see nothing else but these trucks.
Yeah, but you're under it. I can. Ooh, under it.
It's just like a TV and radio station. Any dead air, any sound. Even for a second, you don't know it's not. Nobody be talking.
No, you need someone to talk. But you talk, I'll repeat. You're tightening up the manifold. The Y pipe, yeah, the Y pipe. Tightening the Y pipes up, guys. And then,
Then the manifold and
now, yes, and then, I don't know where this came from.
you gotta do it.
Huh?
You gotta do it in a certain sequence that way everything lines up. So you don't have
Uh-oh.
to rush it.
Can you still hear us?
No, there's no way they can hear me when I'm not talking.
They can hear me.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they can hear me. Maybe.
That's why there's only 3 volts.
Can you hear? Yeah. Y'all can hear ya. You can hear me, Schultz. That's good. I'm glad you answered me.
Tight.
He's almost done. He's got one more bolt, I think, he said, to tighten.
Well, I got two down here on the bottom, but then I gotta come back and bring a couple more things up.
He got 2 more on the bottom and a couple on the top yet to tighten. So you probably can't hear him,
Still dripping oil on me.
but I'll repeat what he says. It's still dripping oil on him. Oh, that's because that was that leak, but you got that leak fixed, I think.
Yeah, it's fixed, but it's still, there's
Yeah, it's still going to be oil there.
the whole valley's full of it.
Yeah, but you'll have to clean it all back up again. But I guess that happens when you have a leak. You know, you shouldn't have a leak, I know. Huh?
Leaks are unacceptable.
Leaks are unacceptable? Leaks are unacceptable. Yes, they are. We hear that, right, guys? It's unacceptable. You can't have no more leaks. No more leaks. Yeah. You hear me? No more. No more. Yeah, you have. Yeah. I say, there is a pot of oil. But it leaked. What can you do? Not have it leak, yeah, but you didn't know. You didn't know that pipe stem, oil stem, or whatever you call it, was out of the motor. You didn't know when you put it together. Yeah, you didn't know that. But now we do. Yeah, we don't like them either. They don't tolerate leaks, Dakota said. We don't either. We don't like leaks either, Dakota. We don't like the leaks. What can you do? Oh, a little bit. There he is again. Back up on top, guys. That leak's fixed. We don't like exhaust leaks either. We don't want no leak. We don't like exhaust leaks, oil leaks, any leaks. We don't like none. But, yeah, you said it, what, well. Now, how many bolts does that thing take? Oh, just 2 clamps? Oh. It's going to need cleaned off. No, no. Yeah.
What?
You. Yeah, he is, Alan.
What?
Ventriloquist, the ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist.
Yes. Yes, no, are you? I said yeah. Even vegetable leaks. We don't want no leaks.
Yeah.
None.
Leaks, L-E-E-K-S, leaks.
No kind. No kind of leak. Leak sucks. Hey, Mom.
I don't like it either. They make a mess.
They do make a mess. It was nice and clean under there when you pressure washed all that oil and soot and all that stuff under that truck.
3 different times you cleaned because it had all the exhaust leaks.
Yeah.
Everybody's knowing that mud under there, knowing whoever had this truck.
Yeah, they had it in mud.
They could beat on it. So.
They did beat on it. And then when they did, they didn't even tighten everything up on it.
No, they left half bolts on it.
Half of the bolts was missing, weren't they?
Well, a lot of stuff, yeah, like the charge air cooler wasn't bolted right. Like a lot of stuff. They worked on it. They did, you know, like I said, it's got the upgrade standpipe and all that. They did that. But they just
Yeah.
put it all back together.
They should have
Sucks
cut.
vibrate too much. Like you said, that wiring harness is supposed to go on the side of the clip. That way it doesn't rub it. Here the wiring for the glow plugs, you rub the soap in, you rub them wires in there to fix them. If everything vibrates, there's a lot of vibration in the diesel.
There what? Yeah.
By the way it runs, because it uses inertia motor.
Was it?
Alright, well, there should be that as well. I'm gonna put
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna put the air filter. You want it? The breather. Gas air filter, and that should be it. Make sure that was in already.
That's the air filter.
Yeah.
That's a big air filter,
There's a lot of air.
I'd say.
There's a lot of air to breathe.
It's a big air filter.
You don't want air to make power.
Yeah, that's true.
This thing would be old time.
One died on us.
Yeah.
It was been on for a while.
Yeah, let's get that.
Sometimes they die quick.
Last a little longer.
Well, it should have, but it didn't. Was it fully charged?
Yep.
I don't understand that.
I keep putting my charger.
And an LED shouldn't have been that dead. What?
Huh?
What else after that?
This is it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody's back on.
It's back on.
In a box.
Oh. Well, we're just gonna stay on here a few until we cease. We're not going off until he gets this done, right? We're staying live until you get this finished?
Until we get it started.
Until you get it started and make sure there's no leaks. Yeah, I'm sure a couple of these guys on here would like to know that.
It shouldn't be any leaks.
There should not be no more leaks, but
Start to check for leaks in a second. Why is it 9 o'clock?
901, 2, 1 over, 902.
Light the fire, guys.
We're gonna light this fire, guys, and see. There ain't nothing in the way, is there? Be live, buddy. Oh, that sounds better. That sounds better than the last time. Got a little leak? Exhaust leak? That's normal. Yeah, small one ain't good. I don't see nothing under there.
We got it, guys.
We got it, guys. We got the oil leak fixed. Now we just got a little exhaust leak.
Alright, guys, that's too bad. I got one little exhaust leak. I just got to tighten it up, get in a different ratchet. I'll shut it off before it gets warm. But
Yeah, I don't want it
I
hot.
was tightening that top with that little 1/4-inch ratchet. There's no way I couldn't get that bolt as tight as I need. I gotta get that 10mm off of there anyway. See, I about lost my 10. That's how I lose my 10, is I forget it's on there. So I guess we're getting ready back out of here, guys. Thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that I wasted your whole night live working on this truck. That wasn't the intention. The intention was to get it worked on and get it out of the way and just sit and chat with you guys. But it happened. So I appreciate everything you guys do. I appreciate you watching the videos. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate you taking your time, but you don't have to come in here and hang out with us sometimes, because sometimes it can be boring. But till then, guys, so we're going to have more stuff on this diesel stuff, do some injector stuff up close, and we'll see you next Thursday night live again. So thank you, everybody.
And just
Remember,
you can sleep in your car, but you can't race your house. I
We'll see
got
you
it,
next
yay! I got it.
Thanks, guys.
I really got it that time. I can't believe it.